AB Radio, home of racing and sports.
Good morning and welcome to Inside Running on Tab Radio Racing and Sports.
Magnificio races to the lead, getting through Waterman's Bay. Magnificio narrowly from Waterman's Bay.
Our team will evaluate each race, interview leading contenders and update Tab Touch markets.
But now Delicacy, here she comes. Delicacy under the 59 went to Neverland and reeled up Dark Musket. It's Delicacy against the inside. Sublime, brilliant, greatness in the cup.
We trust you will enjoy this edition of Inside Running. Now, over to the team for their look at today's meeting.
22.5 degrees as we climb up to a fine sunny 30-degree day with some light winds becoming southwesterly by mid-afternoon. And it is the Miss Andretti meeting at Ascot today as we welcome the Inside Running team with the first just before 12:30 today. Darren McAullay, good morning.
Thanks indeed, Matty. Good morning to you. A very good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on Inside Running on this absolutely delightful day, certainly in total contrast to this day last year where the meeting was actually abandoned and the Miss Andretti was switched to Pinjarra to be run on that particular occasion. But today we have just got the absolute best of the weather conditions, and again in contrast to what they're experiencing up there on the Gold Coast there with very, very heavy rain and the track in that soft 7, soft 8 range there, and a bit more rain still to come for their very big day of racing. Ends a massive week up there with the Magic Millions, of course, concluding yesterday, day 4 of Book 1, and it finished on an absolutely remarkable conclusion. Well, let's dig deep into the Ascot card today. As Matty has mentioned there, we get the running of the listed Miss Andretti Stakes, a race named after the great WA sprinting mare, and the race has produced more than its share of mares that have won the race in more recent years. Digby, Beacham, Scott Embry are with us as always on a Saturday morning. Good morning to both of you. How do you see the meeting, Diggs?
I like it, Darren. Good morning to you, Matt, Scott, listeners. I think there's a little bit of meat on the bone here and looking forward to getting our teeth into it because I think there's a bit of value around. Scott?
Morning, boys. As we get this time of year, there's probably not as larger field sizes as you would expect for a Saturday Metro meeting. We saw that last week and we've got it again today. But as Digby said, there's still some value to be found in different races. Look, if that record of the mares is going to extend, Mac, then you're tipping Twain's Angel today. She's the only mare in the race.
She is, indeed. But if you look back, Wild Bell, How's the Serenity, Miss Kentucky Flirtini, all in the last 4 years. And Valor Road, of course, prior to that. And before that, Misty Metal, Caipirinha. So there's just been a whole litany of mares that have won the race. So we've got one of them in this year's edition.
Well, listening to that on a roll, it sounds like Simon Miller's missing out not having one. He's been dominating that race.
Yes, he has. He really has had a phenomenal record. How's the Serenity and Miss Kentucky and Flirtini. Valor Road, of course, as well.
Caipirinha?
Yeah, Caipirinha. Hussy by Choice. Power Princess. Looking down the list. He has a fair old record in the Miss Andretti diggers.
That he does. So he's, one thing he's had over a long period of time is a great affinity with the fillies and the mares, and that's been evidenced by his success in this race.
Pattern for the day, 30 degrees forecast, top 20 to 30k sou'westers. Scotty coming in early this afternoon.
And most importantly, the rail, we're back racing at the True.
First time since the 9th of November last year. And if you will remember, it was a massive swoopers day.
Exactly right. So we had it rail at the True on Listia Stakes Day, and a perfect marker at the top of the home straight was Comfort Me, who couldn't shake them off, and Casino 17 launched down the extreme outside, and that was after being held up. So I have that meeting as heavy off fence. I have all the ones in 2024, late 2023 as off fence, and then we were supposed to race there on Gold Rush Day, and we know that we got to the track and had a delay as we moved the rail to the 3 metre position. So I'm probably going in with a preconceived idea that the winners may well be a little bit off fence, which becomes a really interesting talking point in the first, because Papavero Princess is now into $1.60.
It's been a good go, this, hasn't it?
Boy, oh boy.
And she's drawn one to probably box seat. So she becomes a really interesting element in the first.
She certainly does. Can she get to show her very best turn of foot here from Barrier 1? It remains to be seen. It's an intriguing race to start the day. More about that in a few moments. Now, there are only minimal scratchings from the program. I'll go through those without the process of going race by race, because there are only the 3 for the card. Good 4-track condition there. We've touched upon that rail at True. The first of the 3 scratchings comes up in race 2. It's number 5, Plays with Fire. Go down to race 6, number 9. Bit disappointed to see her come out as well. A lot of roses. And then in the last event, number 10, King Adviso. Race 2, number 5. Race 6, number 9. Race 9, number 10. No changes to the jockeys list. Also today of interest, I think, Diggs, is the Standish Handicap being run in Melbourne, race 8, where WA's Aztec Ruler will go around for Steph Verhala over there with a little hit-and-run mission.
Yeah, exactly right. He's been a little bit easy in the market as he prepares for his first run down the straight there at Flemington. But speaking to Steph yesterday, he'll have this run and then he'll hang around for a couple of listed races over the 1,400 metres.
Might be a nice race for him this year. It doesn't appear, from what I can gather and talking to my contacts in Victoria, that it's not a strong edition of the Standish this year?
No, it is not. No, it is not. He has to carry the 59 kilos, and again, he hasn't been down the straight yet, so a lot of eyeballs from WA will certainly be on that race later on this afternoon.
Our man's done it again up in the Gold Coast, Grant Burns.
Yeah.
Swinging the gavel and gets the highest priced yearling through the sale
Yeah.
at the end of day 4. A remarkable finish. The Home Affairs filly out of Sunlight, $3.2 million to round out the week of selling.
Yeah, so the mare herself, I think she went through the ring for around the $4 million mark. She's had 2 yearlings previously, have made 1.4 and
Won a Gold Coast Magic Millions herself.
Yep. So she's a very much a Magic Millions product, Sunlight, and you know we know the half brother by Justify. Dawn Service is a colt. And he is a listed winner. I dare say he will remain an entire for a fair while yet.
I would think so. Yeah, absolutely. So what would you make overall of the sale this week? As an analyst of sales and breeding?
Top end really strong.
Yep.
As always, that middle to lower tier hard work. I just reckon there'd be a few vendors, breeders here in WA might be a little bit nervous.
Okay. It would seem to be the case there too, the economy being as tight as it is, and certainly I think if we look at the trend of what is happening on the East Coast, and maybe you can exclude New South Wales in all of these different talking points, but there are issues, of course, confronting the heads of racing in Victoria and Queensland alike there as well, with prize monies trying to be maintained at the levels that they've been bolstered to over the years. All of a sudden there seems to be a little bit of a reality check.
Yeah, I think so, and it's just reality, as you said. It's you know, one thing we have seen over the years is sales have been immune to it. There's been somewhat of a false economy, but I think it's now just starting to become a genuine factor.
Absolutely. All right, we'll take a break here on Inside Running. Great to have you aboard, everyone, for this edition on this Saturday, the 11th of January 2025. And a big happy birthday to Jules out there this morning, might be listening in today. She celebrates a bit of a milestone as well. So from All In Racing, a big happy birthday to you. All right, we'll take this break and be back with more right after it.
TAB Radio.
Now, the opening event from Ascot this afternoon, getting underway at 26 after 12, the Reliable Asset Maintenance Handicap. It's over 1,400. Order for the day, small fields in the first couple of races at the least, only the 6 running in races 1 and 2. And the favourite back very confidently to make it 4 in a line is Papa Viro Princess, Matt.
And as we checked that, the Gold Coast's downgraded. Now it's a heavy 9. The Gold Coast down to a heavy 9. Now, Falcon Traders at 5.50 in from 11 with Tab Touch locally. Sensationals at 7. 41 Billy Ray, Papa Viro Princess, as mentioned there. 2.40 now to $1.60. 3.60 out to 8.50, back to $8 Street Band, and the Yarralees at 8.50 from 4.20.
All right, Scotty, well, you sprinkled us with your thoughts a few moments ago in regards to race number 1. Let's dig a little bit deeper. Gate 1, Papa Viro Princess. She's flying. She's had a wonderful preparation to date, unbeaten after those 3. Gate 1. He does, and I mean, it's a lot of ifs and buts, I guess, when you start to look at these races and tactically how they're going to run it, assuming that Falcon Trader's going to roll to the lead. But can she hold up? Can she hold up on the leader's back, or does she go back further on the rail, and does she get that chance to show the quickening aspect to her capabilities, the wonderful turn of foot?
Well, I think in the end you just have to trust in Stevie Parnham because it's only a field of 6. There's potentially a scenario, and it's a real left field scenario. Could he get off the fence? Because when we look at it, we are all expecting here that Falcon Trader from 6 of 6 will take his time and roll his way to the top.
Yep.
But realistically, who wants to park in the breeze or who wants to be that next horse in running? It's none of them. So maybe he just gets the chance to come away from the inside and then all of a sudden those concerns are out the window.
That's how I assessed it, Scott. And I dare say those who are tipping into her at the quote she is and continue to follow her, maybe she does get out of the machines cleanly enough. There's only one horse here that's likely to find the front, that being Falcon Trader, and therefore Stephen's probably able to sit at his flanks. And then from there, it's a turn of acceleration that Papavero Princess possesses, which is going to be awfully hard to counter, is it?
And even to those drawn outside, if you're a Street Band in 2 or a Yarra Lee in 3, if Stevie shows an intent of wanting to get off the fence, you'd be more than happy to sit on her.
Exactly right.
Yes, I think that it just gets down now to what price you're prepared to take. Really, if that's the likely scenario there. You've got Sensational returning today and returns shooting for 6 straight wins. Went to the paddock in great order last time around. Given a very quiet barrier trial without the blinkers on recently.
Loved his trial. I mean, I probably struggled in the sense that 2 starts back, he's beaten Falcon Trader by a head, meets him 3.5 kilos worse for a head's margin. So I've had Falcon Trader ahead of him just on weights and measures, but he was a nice, solid trial. And there's always been an opinion of the horse. Grant Williams, even when he broke his maiden, had a bit of a rap on him. So it took him time to find his feet. But gee, last winter he came of age. I'm going to tip into Papavero Princess. Would I take $1.60? Not anymore.
No.
I think there's too many concerns to be looking around at that sort of price. 4 from 1 Falcon Trader, another really good marker as to how this fence is going to play, because Lucy Fiore should be able to control and dictate and really walk them here for as long as she wants. 6 Yarra Lee, the small field probably suits her. She can flop out the back. She's been travelling into her races really nicely. She just had no room to move recently. And 2 Sensational at his return, 4, 1, 6 and 2.
Okay, Papavero Princess, but you don't sound convinced. Not in terms of price point anyway, at least, and probably more questions than answers in regards to the first digs.
Seeing it very similar, albeit I have got Street Band, the 3-year-old, taking on the older horses in for second. But 4 Papavero Princess, a tip, no bet from 5 Street Band, Genuine Excuses last start, 1 Falcon Trader and 6 Yarra Lee, 4, 5, 1, 6.
It is unanimous with me. Mine's a tip, but it's no bet at the price at the moment as far as she is concerned, and Summer Dixon continues to do a great job here with this mare. She is 2 for 2 at the track and also the 1400. So 4 from 2 Sensational. Winners are winners. 1 Falcon Trader, the dictator in the race, and Yarra Lee next best. 4, 2, 1 and 6. Popular 4 numbers there in the first event, Matt.
Headed by Papavero Prince, number 4 on top from Scott, 162. Diggers also 4, then 5, 1, 6. Darren's gone 4, then 2 from 1 and 6 to the opener. Over the page at a minute after 1 for Tab Touch, West Speed Platinum Handicap over the 1600 minus number 5. Quaddie first leg here for the first quad into 340. El Patron 460. Frappuccino. Why Me is at 250. $5 Imperial Eyes. Happiest Larry 13. Kazkazi 23.
Okay, well, you look at the favourite for the event in Why Me and you think, 5 goes here and has never been placed. However, this is its first Ascot run for this stable, that of Brandon Fiore. I think that's worth taking into consideration, and it has won 2 of its past 3, and particularly good at 1600. Digby.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Darren. And to be fair, not a lot of horses are making ground down there at Bunbury, and Why Me at his most recent outing, he made a run and was able to sustain it, Scott, and he was quite soft on the line, and that was over the 1690 metres. So that box has well and truly been ticked for this race, and you'd like to think that Frappuccino and El Patron set the tempo. Why Me, Lucy gets a beautiful run in behind them.
Correct, that's the way it looks on paper. And the other thing is he could have easily won 3 in a line, because the day he was beaten by Star Rating when he was backed into $1.80, he just didn't get any momentum at the point of the home corner. He got held up behind tiring horses, and that's not his go. He needs open air, he needs to wind up. So I would agree, Frappuccino leads, El Patron breezes, Imperialise box seats, and that would allow Why Me just to park a pair further back probably, because Happy as Larry isn't stepping, and I'm not sure what they really do with Kazkazi, but it looks on paper like he's a sniff of being 3 deep in the small field unless they take their medicine. So I thought it was a fairly straightforward map, and so from there I was happy to go with Why Me, because he's the proven miler as well. There's only 2 horses in this field of 6 that have won at a mile and beyond, and that's Why Me and Kazkazi. The others are potentially stretched at the distance. 3, 4, 2 and 1. I'll put Imperialise in there for second. The effort 2 back behind Profit Pocket I thought was quite encouraging, and then was beaten in a blanket finish last start. 2, Frappuccino. He was headed by El Patron last week, but shook him off in the last 50 metres. He's tough. And 1, El Patron, he's always thereabouts. He just doesn't win out of turn 3, 4, 2 and 1.
Okay, 3 there with you. I suspect it's with you as well, Diggs.
It is, Darren. 3, 2, 1, 4 for me. Not much more to add. Quite keen. Why Me?
Small field, 3 Why Me as well. On top from 2, Frappuccino, developing. He's a horse that I think is going to finish up winning more than his share too in time. There, he's certainly a horse that has got a little bit of grit to his racing, the way that he showed that last start too. And 4, Imperialised, drawn the box seat El Patron. So 3, 2, 4, 1 in race number 2. Not a great deal of variation, Matt.
No, 3, 4, 2, 1 Scott, 3, 2, 1, 4 Digby, repeating Darren 3, 2, 4 and 1. The third race at 16 to the hour of 2 o'clock is the Magic Millions Plate over 1,000 metres, and a Baby Pearl is 650 to 7. 360 out to 650. Bannard is now 550. 290 for Country God. Knocking on Heaven's Door 21. 15 Sound of Speed. Girls on Fire 12 into 6. Luna Miss 480 to 440. Maurice's Prince at 16 and 61 for Pony Up.
It's an interesting one, this here, the Magic Millions Plate. It's a field that's full of debutantes, so therefore, Scotty, it makes it a difficult 2-year-old race to forge, I think, a firm opinion, given the fact the favourite has only contested 2 400 barrier trials to date.
The most recent of them, I know that he was really quite hard-ridden and put through his paces, but he was
fast,
extending away from them nicely. And then you watch Baby Pearl come out of that jump out, go to 1,000 and do what he did. I thought it was very encouraging, but at the same time, I take your point, Mac. He's going to go around under $3 off 400-metre jump outs. So how does that line up? On the second line of betting, you've got Luana Miss, who's looked good at the trials, but the most recent of them was a month ago. So that's a long time in 2-year-old racing.
Scratched along with Maurice's Princess last weekend, or I think it was last weekend.
Yep.
So they both line up here. Luana Miss has certainly, I think at least, shown that she might have her share of ability as well, and I would expect from a nice low draw here she can bring some of that trial form to her debut this afternoon. Diggs, Neville Parnham's had quite a deal of success with the family of Country God, being a 3-quarter to Ghost 2 Walks and Holy Ghost.
Yeah, he has, and he just looks fast. Not all of the playing gods at this stage of their careers look to, boast the same profile as this bloke. He has been ridden out, but his ability to improve significantly from the debut 400-metre jump out to the second one, when he's clocked 23 and a half. That's a good gallop from a standing start out of the gates.
Well, I think the other thing, the positive for him, is that in those 400-metre jump outs, he's been just reaching top speed as they get to the end of the 400, where a lot of them ping the lids and then you don't really know how well they're going afterwards. He just looks like he's getting better the further that trial goes.
And you'd think he leads this field. Like if Chris wants to give him a dig and sort of rouse him out of the gates, I think he finds the top, he finds the fence, and we always talk about that being such a decided advantage for the juveniles.
One of the other things I struggle with in this lineup of debutantes is the trial that Bannard won, because it was so awfully slow.
It was,
and so it became really messy. Girls on Fire's 3 deep, Bannard's 4 and 5 deep, but then they swoop around the rest of them because the leaders near on choked down. They were going that slow.
He looks like he's got a lovely action, though. He moved really, really well when he extended late. Admittedly, it was basically a sprint home.
Yeah, I like him, though, as a type of a horse, too.
Yeah.
I agree with you completely. I think that Bannard, don't read too much into the time there on that particular occasion. I think the horse has certainly got some real talent. Let's lock a few in here. Are you going to play the favourite Country God, or are we speculating elsewhere?
No, I'm not. I'm going to push the Bivouac filly, Luana Miss. I know the trial was a month ago, but I like the way that she went about it. So 7 for me, from 3 Country God, 5 Sound of Speed, big double figures, likely to lob out the back, but I liked the last 50 metres when he picked up and went straight past them, and 1 Baby Pearl. I know that Troy Turner looked like he was able to get a bit of a cheap section in the middle stages and then really kick away from them, but still I thought he covered the ground quite nicely. 7, 3, 5 and 1.
Okay, 7 with you.
Yeah, intriguing little race. Look, I've sided up here with Country God just because he looks like he possesses excellent gate speed, and he's been there to trial well at both times out. And as Scott said, he looks like he's strong through the line. So I'm not that perturbed about the 1,000 metres off the 2 400s, given you'd like to think that Neville's got him pretty close to the mark. So 3 on top from 7, Luana Miss. Love that most recent trial, beating Tora Bora in the manner that she did. She was very, very impressive and looked like she had a bit under the hood. 2, Bannard. Time was slow, but he looks like he's a nice moving animal. And 1, Baby Pearl, just that Monday trial to a Saturday for a 2-year-old, but was very, very good the other day. And you can tie in that Country God form line. 3, 7, 2 and 1.
Okay, there was very good money early on for Michael Lane's filly in Girls on Fire, 11 into 6. So they targeted her early on. And good luck to the owners. It's a great lineup of owners there, but it's lovely to see Bree Chisholm with a share in this horse today too. So good on you, Breezer. Let's hope that Girls on Fire can run a terrific race at her first outing in the Amelia Park colours for you and the other owners this afternoon. I'm 7 as well, Luana Miss, with you, Scott. $110,000 purchase she was through the Perth Magic Million sales to beat number 3 in Country God, who comes out of that good winning family. 2, Bannard, I've liked the look of. I do agree with you, Diggs. And I'll put Girls on Fire following the money trail in for my 4th best. 7, 3, 2 and 6 will be going to a commercial break on the other side of this as well, Matt.
The numbers, Scott, 7, 3, 5, 1. Diggers, 3, 7, 2 and 1. And Darren has gone 7, 3, 2 and 6. It's 28 after 8.
It's a cracking day here in Perth. Everyone out and about there around the river this morning on our journey into the studios of Tab Radio Racing and Sport here at GP, and just a magnificent day for this night event program featuring the Miss Andretti. Matty, we've got to race 4, the Own the Dream 2025 registrations open plate. Always an exciting time. 1,200 metres and a nice race this as well, with a couple of very tidy fillies going around.
Show the way. 9 out to 12, back to 9. 10 to 13, now 12 for Timeless Gem. Gold Flakes is at 12. 7 to 650, Sunshine Tafe. Supernatural is at 220 after opening 240. Santanova is at 750, out from 550. 14 into 10, American Escape. Diamonds and Rubies is at $8.50 after hitting $12, and then $201 for Nutbush City.
There's a smorgasbord of good form here, Diggs, in race 4.
Yeah, good little race, competitive race, but I think Supernatural is going to prove extremely popular when you factor in the closing effort over 1,000 metres on Cup Day behind a pretty talented one in Schmoove Mover. Now, Schmoove Mover covered his opposition on that occasion particularly well, like he did at the midweeks, but Supernatural this time in, Scott, looks like she's gone to a new level.
It was the 6 to the 4 where Schmoove Mover won that race and Supernatural lost it. He was just travelling so much better over the 1,000 metre speed than what she was. In the home straight, their sections are almost identical. In fact, the last 200, Supernatural's starting to pull back ground off him, and I think the step to 1,200 metres here today is a massive thing for her.
Her numbers, her first 2 runs this campaign have been absolutely outstanding. First up on the straight course there. They don't often come from back where she was there that day and win. She did that in sub 33 and was awfully impressive in defeating an informed Daytona Pete. And then, of course, she came to that next run and bumped into Schmoove Mover, who just simply took them off the bridle and out of their comfort zone when he accelerated exactly between the 3 and the 2 that particular day. I think that she's got it all here in front of her, Supernatural. She's come up fantastic. At the same time, I think there's a couple of emerging fillies going around in the race as well that could provide some, I think, genuine opposition to her.
Give them names.
American Escape is one. Couldn't believe $13 went up. Look, this has taken a quantum leap forward. And from all accounts here, from within the stable, she's taken another step forward, which is very, very encouraging. since that debut unplaced run, came out, ran second in her maiden. She's only won a maiden down at Bunbury, but she just took another big giant leap forward and she put them away. There have been takers, 13 into $10 it was in the market. So she, I think, is another here that will certainly take another leap forward if all indicators are there in regards to her. Interestingly, to Show the Way, who's got that Daytona Pete form, no luck last start, and has had the bar shoes come off Diggs. So always a good sign.
Yeah, and gets here on the spin. So, I think Supernatural is your logical favourite, and you can understand why she is the price she is. But I thought it was a competitive enough little race. I think Show the Way is not completely and utterly hopeless, better suited at the 1200. Timeless Gem wasn't asked to do a great deal in the most recent trial. We've seen Gold Flakes go okay. Sunshine Tafe, I think, is going along okay, talking about those Daytona Pete form lines, Diamonds and Rubies, Scratch Wednesday to run here. Good little 3-year-old race, but I have sided up with the favourite, Supernatural.
Okay,
Scott.
we didn't mention Santanova there, but 1200 looks better for her, I think, than those shorter races.
And I suppose she probably gets a chance here to punch up underneath of Gold Flakes, and if she wants to sit leaders back, she gets a lovely track into the race.
Correct.
I'm all eyes for Supernatural. I thought she was a special today. I thought she would be too good for this lot. I think that she can go right through. I think she's got a lot of talent. 5 Supernatural Keen, 3 Gold Flakes as long as she can cross, 4 Sunshine Tafe. Did it tough again last start. Was 3 deep the trip and was too good for them, but I think she runs into a nice one here. And 8 Diamonds and Rubies has a bit of an X factor about her. Very quiet trial and then hit the line well out deep in the Daytona Pete run on debut. I think gets a softer map today, but 5, 3, 4 and 8 Supernatural.
5, 4, 1 and 2 for I. Supernatural on top from Sunshine Tafe. 1 Show the Way and 2 Timeless Gem. Always respect SJ Miller's horses fresh and has form around Glasgow Lass, and you would think that's not bad form for a race like this. 5, 4, 1, 2.
Yeah, I'm unanimous as well with Supernatural. I think she'll win, but expect a really good run here from the 7 American Escape. And 1 Show the Way, 8 Diamonds and Rubies, my 4th pick in race 4, 5, 7, 1 and 8 there. Matthew?
Darren, no discrepancies with the top tip. 5, 3, 4 and 8 from Scott. 5, 4, 1 and 2 from Digby. 5, 7, 1 and 8 from Mac in the 4th. The 5th race at 4 after 3, the MCA Polytrack Handicap over 1,500, $9.50 out of point Snazler. Sure Knows Something is $3.50 to $3.90, in a point to $6.50 Uncle Jared. Sacred Oaths at $19, $12 Swim Through in from 31. Out to 19, Ocean Zara. Red Tories at $3.60, $5.50 in from $8.50 Bold Hero. Kenny Connie's at $17 and Jolly Lace $34.
Well, Red Tory favourite in a very wide race. The 5th event comes back here after flopping as the 225 favourite last weekend. What did you make of the performance, Scotty? Diggs there, is she a forgive on that? 9th of 9 to Sol Donnell, but prior to that had built up a couple of very good credits.
She was poor. I don't think there's any way around it.
So what do you do? Like, the market clearly thinks she's a forgive.
I tried to look at the race a few times, and look, she races with the hood on. The only thing I can think is maybe she didn't really relish racing tight between horses most of the way, but even when they fanned and there was a run presented, she didn't give anything whatsoever in that race, and Sol Donnell darted through on her inside and put them away. I just don't know what to do with Red Tory. What I do know is that they're very happy with the way that Sure Knows Something has been going since coming here to Ascot back 3 runs ago, getting the job done in the regional championship final, has gone back to its home deck up at Utakara and bumped into a very much informed starring Knight.
Who would be a very nice measuring stick for a graduation grade.
Correct. Absolutely.
He himself is a 66 plus winner.
Yep. Yeah. Significantly, Clint Johnston Porter gets back on board as well, and he's got a bit of a relationship with the horse. So, look, you know, Ronnie Cowley trains winners up there in Geraldton for fun, and he does a very good job when he brings them down here to the metropolitan area. I think probably at $3.90 it's the safer way to go, because we just don't know what to do with Red Tory.
It's the way I'm going to go. The other thing I'm big on is when you've got these country horses that have been racing in 70 plus grade, when they come to a graduation, they run well. When they go to a 66 plus, they get found out. So for me, that's the transition element. So we saw it last week with Henry the Aviator. He went to a grad, ran really well into second, but you quite often see them, they go to a 66 and they're just not at that level. So I think it's the right placement and the right race for Sure Knows Something. That's the way I'm going as well. 2 for me, 9 Canny Coney gets a nice soft run today from barrier number 1. She's been going quite well without a lot of luck. 7 Red Tory, the earmuffs come off today, so hopefully that is a positive for her off the 7-day spin because she's better than what she showed last week. And 3 Uncle Jared, he's awfully hard to catch, but he was awfully good. First up behind Cherry Can Run. 2, 9, 7 and 3.
He was zigging and zagging his way through them, didn't he, Uncle Jared? That's for sure, but he does not win out of turn. 2 in 29. That sort of says it all. Diggs, what have you settled on in the 5th?
Look, I stepped around Red Tory just because I didn't know what to do, and for mine, she's plenty short enough. I actually thought the effort of Snazzler first up in the Mandurah Cup was all right, beaten just over 4 lengths behind Papavero Princess, gets 2 kilos after the claim of Braden Garth today. He has shown an ability to race handy if required, and I just thought maybe Snazzler at a distance range, which I think he's going to be more to his warehouse than what it was at the start of last campaign when he had a couple of 1,200 metres and worked his way into the mile. You're getting each way about him, so 1 on top, Snazzler. 2, Sure Knows Something. He's been up a while but continues to race particularly well. 8, Bold Hero Fresh off the back of 2 trials. Chris Parnham rides. You'd think he gets a nice enough run there over the 1,500 metres. There were options for him over the weekend. They've elected to go here. And 3, Uncle Gerard. But I thought Snazzler each way represented some value. 1, 2, 8 and 3.
Okay, well, I'm going to be sticking with the Geraldton form of Sure Knows Something here. I think that he can make a winning return back to Ascot today. Over Uncle Jared, couldn't have done much more than what he produced first up. If he can run to that type of effort down 3, he'll be in the mix. 7 Red Tory with the jury completely out. 9 Canny Coney. I thought her form holds up against, the likes of Papavero Princess, and then, of course, Soldanel, who she ran 5th to last start, and it's come out and won again subsequently. So that hangs up okay there. Just very quickly on that Geraldton meeting too, speaking of Sure Know Something, couple of very good performances, one of them in the last of the day, Scotty. Don't know whether you copped that effort.
In defeat or the winner?
In defeat.
For very different reasons. They were both good runs.
Yes. On your marks. Very, very good.
Back to trials, I think he is.
Has to.
Gee, he's got some ability, that horse.
If he could only just put it all together and get his mind on the job, which he did 2 runs ago, that was one of the best performances I think I've seen on a country track in many a long day.
Under the 62.
Yeah, fantastic. I think there'll be another 1 or 2 that emerge through that meeting that could come to town and have a bit of an impact as well. So I'll be keeping a watch on them. They've produced some good form up there, these horses, when they've come to the metropolitan area. Sure Know Something certainly is one of those, Matt.
And is the tip from Scott, number 2, 9, 7 and 3. Diggers those gone 1, Snazzler 2, 8, 3. Darren's with 2, ahead of 3, 7 and 9. Race number 6 starts the proper quaddie at 20-4. And it's the Happy Birthday Callie Burton over 1100. 9 is out. $12 Bonnie Ladd. Crystal Vane 21. Into 5 for Stylish Lord. Capri Omnia 750 in from double figures. 650 Treasure Queen. Horcrux at 245 from 360. 550 Mean Machine. And at 31 Prince Amongst Men. We skip 9 coming out and 10 Auntie Jean 61.
Okay, well, our favourite is Simon Miller's 3-year-old in Horcrux, who has not been sighted for nearly 60 days. His last run when finishing unplaced in the Placid Arc. First up, ran 4th in a Belgravia and then led them immediately into a 1400 in the Faritha, second up to September Born. So put into the paddock. Digs after the Placid Arc run. Blinkers on. First up, fresh. Do we catch him here from a beautiful gate?
He's plenty short enough for mine. Plenty short enough. He will, you would think, assume his position at the head of the field here, Scott, but I know the form lines would suggest he's going to be very, very competitive, but I can't come into him at that quote, I'm sorry.
I think by this stage of the day, you probably near on know your fate. Because if in the first 5 races, everything up along the fence line is folded up, then he's in all sorts.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not convinced at this stage of his life he's got another string to his bow. I think he, at this stage, probably has to lead to win.
There is one on the page here that has got a kill over a good one, and that's Mean Machine, who's back without a barrier trial, having beaten Schmoove Mover back there on heavy ground, back late last year, or in fact in August. So, he's got some ability.
Yeah, I've got him in my numbers, Mean Machine, because I think he goes okay, but I don't read a lot into that race, Darren, just because it was a bog that day, a proper bog. What did they run? 1:16.44. Like, it's as...
You're down to their hocks. Though,
yeah, that's it. But he's here, no trial, gets a gun jockey, gets a good gate, and you'd like to think he can be all over the speed as well. How's Bonnie Ladd going?
Okay.
I think he's going okay.
I think the extra 100 might help.
I thought the extra 100 would suit.
Yeah.
Goes up in weight,
Looks
comes
as though
back
he's sort
in
of
great. He's a little
looking
bit,
for
he's
it.
proving a little bit problematic out of the gates, but I thought of that each way quote. He wasn't the worst.
No, he's no star, but I think he's competitive here.
I've put him on top. Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
No,
I
fair
just worked around Horcrux. I think the run behind Bopping Blue, fresh when he didn't get a lot of galloping room until about the 200 metre mark, was good. Bopping Blue goes around in a scorch and was in the market, didn't run badly. And then recently behind All Play, I thought he was good. 1100 metre records, fine. Yeah, for me, Bonnie Ladd each way. So that's the way I went. Third up today, 1100 metres. So 1 from 6 Horcrux, 4 Capray Omnia. Going along okay, rides the speed on this quick spin, and 7 Mean Machine. I just thought Stylish Lord, the 1200 back to 11, given distance range he got to last time, might be problematic.
I'm with you there too. Probably needs a bit further, but I don't think was suited in the pattern either behind Norwich at his first up run.
1647 for I.
Okay, each way the play, Bonnie Ladd.
I went with Horcrux, but I'm going to be watching to see how the race day unfolds. 7 Mean Machine, 3 Stylish Lord. At the same time, if they are swooping down the centre, it probably offsets the fact that he's back to 1100, and 4 Capra Omnia, 6734.
Yeah, I'm 6 Horcrux. I like the fact that Simon, when he puts blinkers on his horses, they go.
Yep.
They do go. And I'm going to roll the dice here. And whilst he's probably a bit under the odds at 245 at the moment with Tab Touch, I think that whatever beats Horcrux will probably win. But again, you have to take into consideration what the pattern of the day is going to be, and we get a good sighter going into race 6.
Well, he's 245 because they lined up at the 360
Yep,
to back
did.
him off the boards.
Yeah, they got in nice and early there, and they took a fair slab of the pie with Horcrux. So it's 6 from 7 for me, and 3 Stylish Lord, 1 Bonnie Ladd, and an honourable mention to Capray Omnia there also. Matty, after this, we'll head off and go to a bit of a break before returning with our look at the last 3, including the Miss Andretti.
Race 6, number 6 from Scott, 7, 3 and 4. Diggers has gone 1 to beat 6, 4, 7. Darren is with 6 ahead of 7, 3 and 1. It is 14 to 9.
Never matters how many times I hear that tune, I instantly think of Northerly. Every single time. A song associated with the great fighting tiger. There you go. Well played.
I think of Rocky 3.
So do I.
Doesn't it evoke memories of
Clubber
Rocky
Lang
3?
and Rocky Balboa.
You watched Rocky 3?
Yeah, 100% I
Did
did.
you really?
Yeah.
3 different lives. I think of an episode of Family Guy. Quagmire bouncing around.
More your generation, Scotty.
What is his name? Is it Glenn Quagmire? Is it? Yeah, I've learned a bit about him last night, actually.
Quagmire.
Yeah.
Beautiful name.
Yeah, it's a great name, isn't it? Anyway.
Let's have a look at the Peters Investments handicap amongst this myriad of mirth.
Red Sun Sensation is at $12 out from 8, 320 in a point profit and power. Satino's at $4 in from 550, 15 for We Rate You, who did open at 10, 650 out a point and a half Alaskan. Here for Checks is at $16, 550 into 460. Profit Pocket, Profit Pocket 101. So Likeable and So War is out to 11 from 8.
We knew what you meant. What do you like here in race 7? Who wants to go first cab? I found this a challenge.
Digby's got his hand in
I
the
like
air.
a few. Yeah, look at you. Look
This
at
is
you
my
go.
best of the day.
Careful, you'll get tennis elbow doing that.
Right.
Oh, no, it's pretty.
What do you like?
Alaskan.
Right.
I like Alaskan. 22 back to 18. Great racing pattern. He'll jump and put himself over the speed. If they march, he'll be strong at the back end. If they want to walk, he'll be close enough to get them. And I like the fact that he comes out of a couple of fast run races, albeit over the 21 and 22, gets back to 18 where he's been successful previously, drops 2 kilos on the spin.
No argument there. He's very close to winning one, placed his last 3, and I think you could probably suggest the same about Michael Grantham Satino, who's building towards a win in this campaign.
Well, my strongest opinion in this race is that they will march, because there's no way Ricky Moss drives So Likeable 8 hours up from Esperance and then goes slow, because he is a freewheeling leader.
Yeah.
So he bowls to the top.
So regardless of the fact he's 100 to 1, he leads.
So if that's the case, you've got a horse like Alaskan who's rock hard fit. Now, it's been a little while since he won, I'll grant you that. But if that is indeed the case and it becomes the equivalent of, say, a 2,000 metre race or a generally run 1,800 metre race, and some of these horses getting to this trip for the first time in their campaign, whereas Alaskan's been exposed to distances beyond this, therefore that's why I went his way. So I'm hoping Chris Parnham can get him home.
Okay, then. Well, I think you could make a case for 2 or 3, at least legitimately, at the very least. Profit and Power, he's been good to you, Scotty, this campaign. You followed him right through. He's back up to 1,800 here, where he, of course, breezed, and they ran very good time that day. He drew off the course, came over, was still too good, came back to the mile, led them, and just put them to the sword when he sprinted quickly coming off the home corner. But he gets a drag into the race here from So Likeable.
And probably Profit and Power's got no choice in my eyes but to march forward to the breeze.
No, he'll be there.
So all of a sudden, Stevie Parnham's a big sniff of lobbing one out, one back on the mare. So I can definitely make a case there. Tony Triscari, 2 runners to the races last week, 2 winners. She herself, last start winner.
He's in the red zone, isn't he?
Isn't
Again,
he?
Tony?
Nothing out of his yard runs badly.
No.
And it's been just prolonged success now. I'm going to go completely different to everybody else around the table.
Do tell.
I'm going to go with Red Sun Sensation. Now, I've tipped into him once since he's been here, and he didn't exactly let us down. He ran 3rd that day, but 17 of his last 18 have been in higher grade than this. I think Sue Olive's found a lovely race for him.
Just got to settle better in his races. He probably beats himself more often than not.
Well, he probably gets the opportunity to settle today.
Because of the
Bingo.
speed.
That's what I'm banking on. I'm banking
okay.
on So Likeable going quick, Profit and Power chasing him, Profit Pocket using them up early to find a spot. Look, the last time he raced at the 1,800 here at Ascot, he finished 3rd in a lucky grey behind Diamond Scene and Sentimental Hero.
Yep.
But he's going to go around double figures. So each way, for me, just a point of difference, Red Sun Sensation. 2, Profit and Power. If he marches up and parks outside or just off So Likeable, he'll be the first one to go past him halfway up the straight. He's going particularly well, this horse. 5, Alaskan, I understand all the logic there. And 7, Profit Pocket continues to raise the bar. 1, 2, 5, 7 for me.
Okay, Diggs there. Go Alaskan, and then what else?
Yeah, 7 Profit Pocket, 2 Profit and Power, and 3 Satino. 5, 7, 2, 3, quite keen Alaskan.
Okay, in a race where there are too many confusing profits for mine, I'm 3. That's Satino. I think building, and the speed in this race here will suit him also. Profit and Power, tough, resolute, down to back up to 1,800. I think a tick Alaskan. Well, if he wins the race, no one's going to fall over stunned, that is for sure. 3, 2 and 5 there. Profit Pocket with a little query at 1,800, maybe down the order slightly. And do take what you've indicated here with Red Sun Sensation. If you're looking for a bit of value in the race, and then you've found it in that $12 chance for a horse who comes out of races like the Lucky Grey, the scale placed in those, and then at the Towton and the ATA. So gets a little freshen up there, and hopefully with hot speed on there, he just gets his mind focused on the job. 3, 2, 5, 7, Matt.
And if they fight it out, hopefully you can spit them out better than what I did. 1, 2, 5 and 7 from Scott, 5 a BB, 7, 2, 3 from Diggers, and 3, 2, 5 and 7 from Mac in the 7th. The feature is at 11 to 5. The Miss Andretti Stakes over 1100. Hot Z is at 17, out from 12. 7 into 5, Man Crush. Gemma's Sons at 21. 17 out from 12 goes to Walks. Oxbridge is at 8, out from 5. 370 to 330 Premium Choice. 5 into 380 for Rock and Rip It. And Twain's Angel is at 550 in from 6.
Okay, let's go with you, Scott. Who wins this edition of the Miss Andretti? As I indicated at the top of the day, it's just been a race assigned for mares to have won it over more recent years. Twain's Angel is the only horse of that gender going around. She's back maybe building towards some of her better form, where she put together 6 in a line last campaign. Hasn't won in 3 this preparation at this stage. Gate 1, soft trip. Speed will be on, no doubt, once again here. Oxbridge, Premium Choice, Man Crush, all with pace.
You don't sound convinced on the race.
No, I'm not.
No, neither am I.
Not at all.
Especially coming after the Summer Scorcher too. I mean, Oxbridge comes from Albany up to town, doesn't lead for the first time in about 3 years, and runs them down. So, I mean, huge congratulations to Oxbridge, his connections. It was a great win. But what do we do with the form out of it?
No, it's a conundrum for me completely. I wasn't quite sure if you sort of step it out, I guess. You know, you talk about Tony Triscari's stable and how well they're going. Premium Choice on the 7 days. I think it's a 7-year-old. He runs at his very first black type feature, but boy, oh boy, he couldn't have been any more dominant than what he was first up.
No, I don't know. He dropped 6.5 kilos, but he's 7 days first up to second up. He's thrown a bit of a task there. You know, Man Crush hasn't raced for 6 weeks coming out of the Winterbottom, where he's actually quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few in the race. I mean, Hot Zed ran third in the Winterbottom, but he's got 61 here and a wide gate, so I think that might take care of him as competitive as he is.
And the one I'm going to go with, you have to...
What do you do here?
Get
I know
creative.
what you're going to say.
Get creative with forgiving Rock and Rupert, because...
Geez, he was playing.
He was
last
awful.
start.
Do you reckon it was maybe a case of just Pinjarra as opposed to Ascot?
Well, that's what I'm hoping, because his prior form at Ascot
Terrific.
was excellent.
And you
He's
can't say-
16 goes here for 1 win.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, he
he's-
ran 7 placings, I know, but
He's racing well, but you can't say, it was just he carried some weight down there at Pinjarra, because he carried weight at the start prior over the 1,400 metres and just missed behind the boss lady.
yeah, good mare.
It was too bad to be true.
Ran
down
5th
at
in
Pinjarra.
the Winterbottom behind Overpass. So, look, you know, when he puts his best foot forward on any given day, he'll be right there. I think it's a race. You could just back one here that you like, and if you miss, you miss. If you get it, good luck to you. I think you get a bit of value regardless in the race.
Funnily enough...
leads,
Sorry,
Scott?
you go.
Sorry, who leads?
I thought today Oxbridge.
Okay.
Does he lead Man Crush?
I think with Man Crush, they prefer to be in the breeze anyway. Yeah, it's not a race that really grabs my attention. If you were to put a gun to my head and say, which one are you having something on, it's one that I haven't even tipped in my 4, and that's Goes to Walks. I thought he was actually quite good.
Yeah.
7-6-2-5 to put some numbers in. Rock and Rupert, but you have to be forgiving of a woeful run last start. 6 Premium Choice, 2 Man Crush, 5 Oxbridge. Really, I don't have a clue in this race.
Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't have to cock the trigger.
No, well, I've actually sided up with Oxbridge. I was doubting he could get the job done in the Summer Scorcher, but he was very, very good. He stays at 54 kilos. The figures out of that are strong. We know that he can ride the speed. We know he's tough, and his 1,100 metre record is good, and he's going to be at the front of the field here, or certainly, you know, right there. So each way, 5 Oxbridge from 8 Twain's Angel. She's deserving of black type, this mare, and I think she can get some today. 6 Premium Choice and 7 Rock and Rupert. Tough race, 5, 8, 6, 7.
It is that indeed. I'll stay with Premium Choice, but these are numbers without any great belief. It's 6 from 7 Rock and Rupert, 5 Oxbridge, and Twain's Angel number 8, but I chopped and changed and flipped and flopped my way through the form trying to come up with what I thought might be able to win the Miss Andretti race 8, Matt.
7 from Scott, 6-2-5. Diggers has gone 5, 8, 6 and 7, and after some flipping and flopping, Mac has gone 6, 7, 5 and 8.
As opposed to zigging and zagging. I tell you what, we've got a good race at the last.
And it's at 5.19 for Bellis, and it is over 1,200, 4.20 for Woburn Gold. 26 Ruler Rocket, King Salutes at $5.50, $12 King Cartel, Rissoles at $3.30, 8 Age on to Cover, Jelly Can Run 17 out to 7, Don't Wait for Luck, Land of Valens 26 with 10 out 11 success plays at 31.
It's a good race, the last on the program too, and some nice mares going around here, and I'm really keen to see Woburn Gold with those blinkers on. 42 days, back to 1200, and I'm looking forward to seeing what she can produce, because if it's her best, she'll take some beating, but she does run into a very much in form at Rissoles, going for a hat-trick of victories. You've also got Angel Undercover, who had no luck behind all play when resuming in this race as well.
I thought I could narrow this down to 2 in the leg of the quaddie.
1 and 5?
1 and 5.
Which way did you go?
I went 5.
Yeah, okay.
I went Rissoles. I thought that was really impressive last start. I've got a bit of a nag because it was mares only, Epona Classic. It was West Speed Day, so it was restricted company as well. But I just love the way that she seems like she's getting better and better.
Yeah, she is. Do you think Woburn Gold and Rissoles are likely to be sort of making their runs in the similar part of the track? Probably a few horses off the fence. Is that the way it looks to you? It looks that way to me.
Yeah, and I think if it gets down to that and we've got a big finish, then I lent with the scales tipping into the favour of Woburn Gold. I'm not quite sure the impact of the blinkers here, but look, that win over 1200 in a 66 plus when she beat Melcar Pindari, and that's form here that we'll associate with Rissoles as well. That was breathtaking. Nearly broke 33, and with a bit left under the hood as well. No luck then after that behind Miss Flirtatious, got jammed up, never saw daylight, not her go. And then out to 1400, I thought that she got home very well that day in low numbers behind Miss Sky High. So I think on the freshen, maybe it's Woburn Gold. I'm a bit of a fan of the mare to beat 5 Rissoles and Angel Undercover, and I did include the 8 Don't Wait for Luck. Although the bar plates go on, that's always a bit of a worrying sign. But, gee, the run was good behind Hostile Talk without much luck indeed, as her name would suggest. His name, at least, first up. 1, 5, 6 and 8 there for me in the last, Scotty.
Same trifecta, 5, 1, 6, and I'll include King's Salute, who I thought was a nice solid trial. 5, 1, 6 and 3.
1, 5, 3 and 6 for myself. Woburn Gold from 5 Rissoles. They looked at 2 to my eye. 3 King's Salute and 6 Angel Undercover.
Righto. So that's how we've assessed the meeting. We'll check in on the specials for the day in a couple of moments there, Matt. Let's just etch these in stone.
5, 1, 6 and 3 from Scott. 1, 5, 3 and 6 Diggers, and 1, 5, 6, 8 from Darren.
Righto, let's go to our best for the day, Diggers.
Yeah, I'm quite keen about the prospects of Alaskan Race 7, number 5 for me.
Race 7, horse 5, Alaskan, your best, Scott?
Race 4, number 5, Supernatural.
I'm with you there. My best for the day is in the same cloth number, Supernatural. Now, the lay of the day?
Race 2, number 1, El Patron.
Race 2, number 1, El Patron.
Race 3, number 3, Country God for me. I know it's a bit of an easy option there, 2-year-olds first starters, but I thought maybe at that $2.80-90 range it was worth a risk of 2 400 trials, so it becomes my lay for the day. And now to the play of the day, Diggs.
Race 6, number 1, Bonnie Lad Each Way.
Is that a play?
That is a play.
Nothing rounded up with Bonnie Lad. It's each way all day there for you,
$12 and $3.10 currently.
Take it if you can.
I like this play. Race 4, number 5, Supernatural, all up into the last, Woburn Gold and Rissoles. So if Supernatural gets the job done in the first leg, you end up with 920 Woburn Gold and 760 Rissoles, and hopefully we can sit back and watch them swoop home in the last.
Okay, my play for the day will be all around CJP. I'm going to go with a bit of an all-up. You play race 1, number 2, Sensational, into a top 3, into race 3, number 2.
Pay 1-2.
Yeah, pay 1-2. That is good point. Good point. I'll take that as a correction. But I do think can run 1-2. Race 3, number 2, Bannard. Although coming out of the slow trial, I think has got ability, Diggs.
Yes.
You agree?
I like this action, yes.
In 2, Supernatural, race 4, number 5. In 2, race 5, number 2, Sure Knows Something. In 2, race 7, number 2, Satino. It's a lovely book of rides for the day for Clint Johnston Porter. So he becomes my play for the day.
Okay. It's his first day back from the suspension?
Just cop 9 days.
Yep.
Day 1 back, correct.
Yep. Okay. He'll be hungry.
Clint Johnston Porter is $6.75 in the Jockey Challenge.
We'll add him in there as part of the play of the day to the Jocks Challenge. $6.50. Okay, that'll do us. Plenty there, more than enough. And as we always say, Diggs, we're only here to feed you, not fatten you. That's our show today. Failed dismally with you.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like man's mate to eat.
All right, now we'll be out there today, Scotty, with you.
And Matty French will be with us as well to cover Albany Racing.
Okay,
the second meeting today.
Yes, we've got our expansive coverage.
Good luck to Taj Dyson when he's come back.
Absolutely. Handy book of rides too. Taj, first day back.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, he's looking lean and mean, and we've noticed that his dad also has been going around in the trials. Paul Dyson, the great Dodge. Tell you what, he's a good rider back in his day. He had a very...
How old is he now?
Is
he in his 60s?
He told me the other day it's still his day.
He's not much younger than me. Hey?
It's still his day. Not back in the day. He's still got it.
Well, he hasn't been there on that day for a while, but I'll tell you what, he was a good rider. Rode for Colin Hayes, had a great success as an apprentice, rode very well, a lot of good horses that he was associated with here in WA, and gave it away many years ago now, didn't he? But
oh, yeah, a long time ago now.
surprised. I'm sure he'd love to be riding up against young Taj in a race. That might be the inspiration.
Son and dad to butt heads, perhaps.
Possibly. All right, well, we'll look forward to that, if in fact it does eventually occur. Dix, thanks indeed for your time.
Thank you.
Look
Good
forward
calling.
to hearing you again on Monday morning.
Yes, hopefully this meeting gets underway on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, it's down to a heavy 9 now. And Scotty, we look forward to your company as well, once again, trackside.
See you, boys.
Thanks indeed, Matt. That's our show, Inside Running on this Saturday morning. We'll catch you back there before the opening event at 12:26.